Live and Live. Buy original, be original. SON.
It was an unprecedented development, one aimed at repositioning the Standards Organization of Nigeria as key officers of the agency are redeployed to undertake new challenges in line with the Director General's vision for a new and responsive SON. 1,080 cartons of tobacco destroyed by the agency as 14 indigenous companies presented with the SON's mandatory conformity assessment program certificates. Plus, stakeholders commenced process for the review of NIS 259 standards for poultry feeds. We have details of these stories after this short message. Please stay tuned.
Wow, Chief Mike, how are you? Fine. I'm going to Sun office for the certification of my wheat flour.
Oh no, things have changed. Sun has simplified all its activities. You could have even stayed back in Kano and process all your papers online. Whoa.
With the efforts of Sun, the products of SMEs can now compete globally. Sun has put in place necessary machineries in support of the growth of SMEs. At highly subsidized charges, SMEs can now get their certification, laboratory testing of their products, as well as purchase of standards. Meanwhile, Sun is carrying out massive seizure of substandard goods in the market and have gotten legal backing to prosecute offenders, all to protect consumers and SMEs. Sun, improving life through standards.
You're watching Standard and You, reaching you on this station at this time every Monday. It's undisputedly Nigeria's authoritative platform on television where you get to know all about product safety and quality. My name is Ifoma Okonkwo, and as always, my pleasure bringing the program to you. Moving on, the Director General of the Standards Organization of Nigeria, Osita Boluma Esquire, has unveiled strategic development plans to ensure an effective and efficient delivery of the agency's mandates to Nigerians. He told Standard and You in an exclusive interview in Lagos that it is aimed at repositioning the SON.
When he assumed office as Director General of the Standards Organization of Nigeria, Osita Anthony Aboloma Esquire made it categorically clear that he will operate a system characterized by transparency, service, and change. According to the SON boss, his vision was to make the SON not just a world-class organization, but a reputable agency of government. Aboloma left no one in doubt of his commitment and passion to achieve success in this regard. The DGSON has been quite objective, and through its developmental agenda for the organization, the development of critical facilities like laboratories, human capital development, and promotion of standardization in Nigeria are key areas where the DGSON has made remarkable progress.
The major thrust of this administration is massive capital and human development for effective service delivery. The labs in Ogba are virtually completed, but we do installation, training, and accreditation of personnel for these labs concurrently. And some of them have gone into full operation, and new ones are also coming up. It's a continuous thing. As standards and testing requirements or parameters increases, we have to accredit our labs in order to meet up with these challenges. Each region in Nigeria that are specialized in certain products, for instance, textile in the north or leather in the north, our Kaduna lab is situated there to cater for the needs of these such exports. Agri products in the middle belt. We have a food lab that is coming up in the middle belt to take care of such exports so that our goods will be accepted within and outside Nigeria. Those are what we will try to configure a lab to the demand of diverse areas of the society.
Existing projects are being completed while fresh ones are being undertaken, all in a bid to upgrade and expand the agency's capacity to handle effectively its primary function of standard elaboration, product testing and analysis, as well as standard enforcement.
The NMI in Enugu is actually designed to be the primary source of measurement and metrology for Nigeria and the West African sub-region. This is what we've been doing for the past 5 years in collaboration with UNIDO to serve institutions that will serve other West African and Nigerian countries in terms of metrology, weights and scale. As you are aware, they hosted the last AfriMet, African Society of Metrological Engineers, in Enugu. The phase 1 is completed and is fully functional. The second phase should be ready before the end of this year. It's going to be a very, very important milestone in putting Nigeria in the map of metrology in the world.
Aboloma has carefully carried out the redeployment of staff of the agency in a most professional and objective manner as part of its strategic plan to build a competent workforce that will provide excellent and effective service to Nigerians.
The rejig of transfer of people is actually to rejig the organization for effective service delivery, to see how they can add value from different perspectives in some of our jobs. That is basically what we're doing. It's a routine transfer of personnel within the system. It's for us to further create an enabling environment for the ease of doing business and people to bring in innovations that were acquired from outside training abroad or posting from other areas into new areas to enhance their performance.
This development has significantly impacted positively on the organization, especially on its processes.
The volume of work in quantity and quality has greatly increased at OGBA. I've mentioned earlier that we have the capability and capacity to test much more than we used to do before, because we have the equipment on ground and we have the technical staff also on ground to carry out the test. Though we have not achieved the optimum because not all our equipment are yet installed, but the ones that we have installed are running efficiently and effectively.
The recent redeployment of some directors of the agency was a major development in the history of the organization.
Once you make a change, most times people, bring in new ways of doing things. They bring in novel ideas. You cannot keep doing things the same way and expecting different results. But once you make a change, the change usually ensures that the new officer that takes over in some places wants to leave his or her mark. And in doing that, a few things will be tweaked, and you can just expect that things can only be better. That's the kind of impact that I expect the movements to have. Furthermore, the SUN is both a national and an international organization where competencies are varied. So it is expected that all of these competencies can fit into many places at a time, thus kind of rationalizing, the availability of human resource that the organization has, and ensuring that service delivery can be better than it has always been.
Director, Inspectorate and Compliance, Bid Obayi, was moved to the agency's National Metrology Institute in Enugu, while Manafa Obiora, who was in charge of the institute, now coordinates activities at the Inspectorate and Compliance Directorate, Apapa, Lagos.
Ensure that I improve on what I am meeting on ground. We are going to have standard measures that you can now always come back to check whether it's giving you that value. That is the essence of having a reference lab this is a reference lab that will serve all the people in the field. It will serve the industrialists, it will serve those who are in commerce, those who are out there using these measuring instruments to offer service.
To employ proactive strategies, it's very, very important, because it's not in our interest to continue to destroy substandard products, because it's a waste to the country. It's a waste to the individuals that spent money to buy those things. So it's not in our interest. What we want to do is to stop them from importing those substandard products. It's better for us to stop them, by sensitizing Nigerians, creating the awareness, telling them, the consequences of bringing in all these substandard products. It doesn't do anybody any good to bring in substandard products that, worth millions of naira or dollars. At the end of the day, we destroy them.
The DG is also aiming to develop utility players within the system such that there is no gap. If you note that the Standards Organization of Nigeria is an ISO Quality Management System certified organization, what that standard says is about continual improvement in processes and systems. There is no end, to improvement in any organization. So the deployment of those officers, as well as others before it and others that may come after it, are aimed at ensuring that there is continual improvement in the service delivery of Standards Organization of Nigeria to Nigerian stakeholders at large.
Aboloma says he will continue to deploy measures to ensure that staff of the SON are in tune with modern trends to deepen their knowledge on the job in the interest of all.
Thanks for being there. The program is Standard and You, in case you've just joined us. 1,080 cartons of expired cigarettes have been destroyed by the Standards Organization of Nigeria in Kano State. The seizure is valued at 27 million naira. The tobacco was not confiscated but delivered to the SON by the importer willingly, in line with the SON stakeholder partnership to check the manufacture, importation and distribution of fake and substandard products in Nigeria. The destruction was witnessed by officials of the DSS, CPC, NESRA, Civil Defense Corps, police and the media. Ensure strict compliance to standards. Director General of the SON, Osita Boluma, tells local manufacturers. He gave this advice at the presentation of the Mandatory Conformity Assessment Program MANCAP certificates to 14 companies in Kano and Lagos states. Here are details.
We are going to fix this logo on your products, and the logo comes with a peculiar number, which is just for family vegetable oil. You cannot see that number in any other food products. It cannot even be in any other products. So that number is just for that family vegetable oil. If you in any way see this number in any other, you will be required to report to SON. So I, on behalf of Barrister Osa Aboloma, present this certificate of quality to you for your product, family vegetable oil. Congratulations.
That was the official presentation of the MANCAP certificate to NOSAC. What it means is that the company has complied with the requirements of the standard in its vegetable oil. SON State Coordinator, Lagos Office 3, Ngozi Ekweme, who represented the Director General of the SON, was emphatic when she told owner of the company that the MANCAP certificate means more work. She said it has become imperative to maintain standard to be relevant in both the domestic and global markets.
You can see the testimony of this one today, NOSAC. how it has made them to go back and start acquiring more lands to grow their palm fruit, which in turn will give them palm oil, which they need for refining.
Managing Director of Nosac Farm Produce assured the SON of the company's commitment to quality products, adding that it will continue to comply with the requirements of the standard.
There is a lot of adulterated products coming in, especially from the borders. So we need to make it clear, we need to make Nigerians know that product that has MANCAP certification are products they should use. As I speak to you, we have a lot of great products that are coming, and these products are not what Nigerians ideally should use for cooking. So this is important for us because we want to prove to Nigerians that we know what we are doing. And the Standard Organization of Nigeria has also endorsed us that we know what we are doing.
In a related development, 13 companies were also awarded the MANCAP certificates in Kano State. The presentation of the certificates was at the Sultanate Suites in Kano, where the owners of the companies were urged by the SON's representative, Engineer Emmanuel Hussaini, to ensure strict compliance with requirements of the standards on their products.
It's good news for poultry farmers as stakeholders met in Lagos at the instance of the Standards Organization of Nigeria to review the Nigerian industrial standard for poultry feeds. Alimoto Sifo has details of the technical committee's meeting on the review of the standard.
The focus of this technical committee meeting is to review the Nigerian industrial standard for poultry feed NIS 259/2003. It is aimed at improving on the quality of feeds in the industry and boost the nation's commercial livestock feed production. According to the Standards Organization of Nigeria, the current standard for poultry feed is no longer adequate. The DG's representative at the forum, Director Standards, Chinyere Egon, told the gathering that the review has also become necessary to conform with current realities and also tag along with government's renewed focus on agricultural development plan.
We're trying to take another look at that standard, the existing standard, to see whether there's need for it to be changed, need for it to be withdrawn or to be reaffirmed. And what do I mean? What we mean is that they take a look at it to see, because since 2003, there's been a lot of changes, both in government policies, in technology, in the processes, and even in the methods of testing. So we're trying to update these current standards to meet the current situation in the poultry feeds industry.
Stakeholders examined issues of quality and standards, the nation's capacity to develop a viable livestock poultry products enterprises.
We're partnering with SON, and what we expect from that partnership and what we're already seeing is a lot of dedication from the SON team in ensuring that these standards are, world class, like I said before, and these standards are accessible. One of the things that we keep hearing is, access to these standards is actually very critical. So it's one thing to come up with the best standards, but we need to ensure that the industry has those standards, can work with them, and has access to those standards. So what we expect from the relationship with SON is, first step, drafting and passing those standards into law. But the second thing is really about working on the compliance. So this is the sensitization of the private sector to ensure that people are aware of those standards. Already, we're dealing with that by ensuring that the private sector is part of the process in the setting of those standards, and just ensuring that everyone, whether you're a new feed miller, an existing one, you know the standards, you agree with them, and you use them in your operations.
The meeting had in attendance stakeholders from the academia, professional bodies, organized private sector, Federal Ministry of Agricultural Development, Livestock Micro Reform in Agribusiness, NAFDAC, and the SON.
You're watching Standard and You Pod by the Standards Organization of Nigeria, the SON. Don't forget that the SON's raid on unfortified sugar is a continuous exercise across the country. Time to treat your messages. Alimot Osifo is our guide. Over to you, Alimot.
Thank you, Ifoma. Welcome to the feedback segment of the program. I am Halimot Osifo. We have a message from Inajofor Uche from Rivers. It says, please, what is the SON about? Standards Organization of Nigeria is the federal government regulatory agency saddled with the responsibility of protecting Nigerians from fake and substandard products. Our mission is to promote consumer confidence and global competitiveness of Nigerian products and services through standardization and quality assurance. Ismaila Abdullahi from Kogi says, please, where is your office in Kogi? Son Kogi State Office is at Rufus Kukwalata Street off Lugard Road after police headquarters opposite Crowder Memorial College, Lokoja. Audu Bala from Enugu says, I love this program. Thank you so much, Audu. Feedback is strength, whether it's a complaint or commendation. It helps us examine and improve on what we are doing. We would like to let you know that your messages or comments on the program is key and critical to our quest to serve you better. One of the cardinal objectives of the program is to provide you, our esteemed viewers, with basic information on product quality and safety. Our success as a responsive organization is determined by how much impact our services have had and will continue to have on consumers and manufacturers of products. We have resolved as the Standards Organization of Nigeria to promote quality and will stop at nothing to check in the distribution, manufacture and importation of fake and substandard products into Nigeria. Our expectation is that you will continue to work with us by providing the SON with information that will help us serve you better. So, call us now or send in your messages to the number 0705-972-4455. Tag along with us on Facebook at StandardNU, Instagram and Twitter at StandardNU_. Do not forget, you can watch the program online at youtube.com/StandardNU. Thanks and have a nice week.